Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrology segment, I'm going to be talking about the moon square or opposition Uranus in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They're a little bit concise, and some people may refer to them as snappy. So what I decided to do was make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up is, well, if you have the moon square or opposite Uranus in a natal chart, there may be difficulty in meeting that need, which is the moon, to attain one's goals and aspirations, which is Uranus. If you have Uranus in Scorpio, as an example, those goals and aspirations may be tied into psychology, locksmithing, the occult, which includes astrology, embalming, working as a coroner, surgeon, investigation, or forensics, as some examples. If Uranus is in Aquarius, as another example, those goals and aspirations may be tied in. Could be astronomy, astrology, computers, electronics, humanitarianism, doing some with aviation, meteorology, innovation, as some other examples. Now, also too, if you have one of these aspects in your natal chart, there may be difficulty in finding the inspiration, which is Uranus, for the attainment of one's emotional needs, which is the moon. If the moon is in Taurus, as an example, those emotional needs may simply be tied into creature comforts, peace, tranquility, monetary stability, having tranquility in one's life, being, it really, it could be matters something with art or music, even as some examples. Now, another thing about the moon square or opposite Uranus in a natal chart, there may be trouble, really being emotionally, which is the moon vested in one's future, which is Uranus. If Uranus is in Sagittarius, as an example, one's future, may be tied into publishing, advertising, printing press operation, doing something with foreign travel, exploration, sports, the outdoors, importing and exporting, as some examples. Of Uranus is in Capricorn, that future may be tied into business in general. Um, it could be something with politics or the government, information technology, dentistry, accounting, masonry, even general mundane work, as some examples. Now, another thing too, if you have one of these aspects in your natal chart, there may be some conflict in terms of balancing the home life and introverted activities, which is the moon, and just really in that, and integrating and ingratiating oneself with society, which is Uranus. You know, um, let's say, if Uranus, is in Libra, you may be someone that integrates yourself with society for intellectual sociability. Um, it could be finding some balance in your life, some kind of peace. As some examples, it could be with the refined people, as some examples. If the moon is in Cancer, the home introverted activities may be tied in, to doing something with cooking, plumbing. It could be where laundry and plumbing is more emphasized. Um, Doing things in terms of maybe decorating one's home renovation or remodeling, as some examples. Now, another thing too about these aspects is, if you have the moon square or opposite Uranus in a natal chart, there may be difficulty in nurturing and caring, which is the moon, for friends, which is Uranus. Now, going to back to Uranus and Capricorn as an example, those friends maybe with older people, ones that are mature. It could be with Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant people, or simply ones that embody Capricorn characteristics. It could be people that are very, structured, disciplined, serious, responsible, mature, consistent, ambitious, and premeditative, having very good planning ability, being very career oriented, as some examples. Now, also, too, the moon square or opposite Uranus in the natal chart can also manifest in difficulty expressing, the ingenuity, which is Uranus, in the home, which is the moon. Now, if you have your Uranus and Aquarius as an example, there may be, ingenuity that you desire to express that's connected with computers or electronics, or through astronomy somehow. Um, it could be, or even with friends. If you have your Uranus in Libra, ingenuity may be expressed. It could be through some form of art. Um, it could be, scales. Well, I'm being somewhat flippant with that, but still, there may be some, ingenious ideas, making, designing, some innovative scale, in your home, as a very remote example of that. And also, too, that people in groups, clubs, organizations, which is Uranus, may not be compatible with your unconscious side, which is the moon. The moon is in Gemini as an example. That unconscious side, may be very, loquacious, adaptable, versatile, but yet contradictory, mercurial, changeable, restless. Um, if the moon is in Aries, that unconscious side, may be combative, acerbic, aggressive, assertive, impatient, impulsive, as some other examples. Now, also, too, the moon square or opposite Uranus in a natal chart may also be expressed in people that you're close to home with, which is the moon, may not be really in harmony or favor of that unique, which is Uranus side, that you express. And going back to Uranus and Libra as an example, it could be where that, that unique side would be expressed somehow, in terms of your relationships, art. It could be some form of art. Maybe there's some ways you balance certain things that is, is something that people are not quite in agreement with. It could be where, if you have Uranus, say, in Capricorn, that unique side may be expressed more so, in one's career, as some as an example. And also, too, there may be difficulty in responding, which is the moon, to, unexpected, unpredictable situations, which is Uranus. If Uranus is in Pisces, it might maybe tied into some kind of flooding that's unexpected, or, like, say, a chemical release in the home, as some examples. And another thing, too, about the moon square or opposite Uranus in the natal chart, another way these aspects can manifest is that there may be, certain issues doing something Uranus related with the public, which is the moon. Things that are Uranus related, can include, astronomy, astrology, computers, electronics, innovation, even aviation, something with meteorology, as some examples. And also, too, there may be, more of a proclivity for shocking and unpredictable, which is Uranus, emotional outbursts, which is the moon. If the moon is in Pisces, those emotions may be very chaotic, to say the least. If you look at the moon in Scorpio, emotions can be very powerful and intense, but yet convoluted at times as well. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Learnard saying, stay right.